Hello, everybody. It's day 7 of Mrs. Barber's messages, and I hope you're doing really well. I've been thinking about you lots today and what kinds of things you've been up to. And this is another day of our inside adventure. But today, my family and we took a nature walk, and we looked at other people's yards and saw their gardens in kind of a brand new way. Sometimes we're going too fast. We're riding our bikes or we're running, and we don't really even see what we saw today. So we were talking about the color of people's doors and their sidewalks and who had succulents growing in their garden. And so that inspired today's video. And Mr. Piggle is going to go away now because he takes a lot of space, but I just wanted you to see him one more time. Bye, Mr. Piggle. I have a message, a story, a poem, and an activity. And the poem is very silly, and it inspired my activity, as did the book, as did my walk. And in the end, you'll see it's nature art with some music. So the story is called The Hugging Tree. And it reminds me of the California coast where we have trees kind of along the cliff. I don't know if you've seen them, but that's one of my favorite things about California where we live. The Hugging Tree, a story about resilience. And for a moment, I want you to think about, what would resilience mean? That's a giant word. What does that word mean? Well, I bet you had some thoughts in your mind. Resilience means that when something hard happens, you bounce back. When something hard happens, you think, how can I survive? How can I make the best of this situation for myself and my mom and dad and my friends and for the world? And resilience means that you're tough. It means you're tough in a great way, that you are able to survive some hard things. And these moments feel hard sometimes. And if you're bouncing back and having fun and bringing smiles to your family, you are resilient, like the tree we're about to read about. On a bleak and lonely rock by a vast and mighty sea grew a lonely little tree where no tree should ever be. How she got there, no one knew. She sprouted stems and little leaves, as any tiny seed will do. There's hardly any dirt for me, no forest breeze, no birds, no bees, but I will do the best I can to make this rock my home. Her tiny roots pushed night and day, and bit by bit the rock gave way. A smidge, an inch, a foot, then 2. She grew and grew and grew. The ocean hugged the rocky shore. I like you near me, little tree. Let's keep each other company. Soft gold sunbeams kissed her crown, warm as honey pouring down. At night she raised her branches high to greet the moon up in the sky. I wax and wane, I ebb and flow, I cycle from full to thin, and when I'm done I start again. That's how life is, you know. One summer noon, a pair of loons landed on her canopy. A pretty tree, a sparkling sea, shall we make this place our home and raise our baby chicks right here? The little tree warmed up with pride. She spread her branches high and wide. I'll be your home, she replied, and you can tell me if you've seen the forest where my family grew. We've built our nest in trees like you quite far from here, and so you blew many nights and many days. You flew on wind, just like we do. They built their nest, they laid their eggs, and soon 2 baby chicks were born. Summer passed, autumn too, the little tree turned red and gold. Then winter came with howling winds and cutting cold that broke her boughs. The loons flew south. The sea all ice, the rock all snow. The moon was lost in the thunder clouds. Mighty cliff, hold me tight, don't let me blow away. Little tree, with all my might, I'll hold you close, night and day. Storms will come and storms will go. At last the sun melted the snow, but now the tree could not grow. The storm had torn her roots. The moon gazed down and softly said, "Sometimes we lose our way, but with some help, we start again. That's how life is, you know." And soon a boy came running by, skipping stones into the sea. When he saw the little tree, he stopped and stared. He touched the tiny leaves. He felt the ragged roots. He shook his head and said, "I can bring you just what you need. I can help you, little tree." A tree can't hug a boy. It has no hands or arms, but it can hug you with its heart, and that is just as deep and warm. Every day the boy came back, carrying a full backpack. From the pack he took out a tin and poured out rich brown earth. He packed the roots and tucked them in. He planted flowers around the tree and made a path for all to see. Now everyone will know that even on a granite cliff, a little tree can grow. And then he went to sleep and dreamed the things that boys dream of. Now every day new people stop to rest beneath the little tree and dream the things we all dream of, to love, to share, to give, to dare, to grow just where we are. And to this very day they come. For a splendid sunny rock by a warm and bright blue sea, a great big hugging tree grows just where she was meant to be. I liked many things about this story. I liked the central message of resilience. I also like the message of when times are tough, sometimes you need someone to help you out, like that boy noticed that the tree needed some help. And then the tree helped him back and helped the community. And that's something that we can all try to do, even just with our smiles as people are walking by. We can do that kind of thing and we can be strong. I also liked the personification that I bet you noticed because you're so smart. That the tree was talking and the birds were talking and even the moon and the cliff had a voice in this story. This is a really good one. This is a new one for Mrs. Barber. I love this one, The Hugging Tree. So next up is a poem. The poem is not as lovely and serious. It's silly because we need some silly in our day. Every day it is about a hamburger named James. Is that ridiculous or what? And after this, I want you to be thinking about your name or a favorite name because we're going to do I love today's activity. I'm super excited. Look at this hamburger. That is a hamburger guy. There once was a hamburger whose name was James. What? Didn't you know all burgers have names? Well, they do. Some are Norbert and some are Neil. Some are Llewellyn and some are Lucille. Some just have nicknames like Bunky or Bean. Others have long names like Rose Maverine. Like you, each one's special and no one's the same. So please, before you bite, be polite. Ask their name. Oh my goodness. Can you name your dinner tonight? Give your soup a name. Give your curry a name. Or your rice. Or your mac and cheese. A mac and cheese named Lula. What if your mac and cheese was named Lula? Today's art, I'm going to make Lula art. Lula is a name that I like very much, and I went out on a nature walk today. I'm not going to write my name because I will show you my name. My name, if I had a long time, I would use my name. But today, I'm going to do Lula with my special thing. I'm going to make art with nature. So Rose and I and Russell, we went on a walk in the neighborhood and I got some things. These were just right in my yard. The wind blew, knocked some branches down and some little, there's an acorn, some small sticks, some leaves, some seed pods, or I don't know what those are. Some sort of seeds from the tree. And I'm going to make a name called Lula. And I'm going to add something else that's my favorite while I'm doing that. And that is a song, because I was thinking about one of my favorite places that I like to go in the summertime, called Paris. And this song is called La Mer, which means the sea. It's an old song. And so while I'm making my art, I'm going to play La Mer by Charles Trenet. And you can go in your own yard, and you can also make nature art. You could make a picture, you could make your name, or you can make a fairy soup by putting these things in a little pot. Use your imagination where you are. So here we go. I'm going to play some music and make some art.
La mer, on voit danser le long des golfes clairs, à des reflets d'argent. La mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie. La mer, au ciel d'été, confond ses blancs tons avec les anges si purs. La mer, bergère d'azur infime. Voyez, près des étangs, ces grands roseaux mouillés. Voyez, ces oiseaux blancs et ces maisons rouillées. La mer les a bercés le long des golfes clairs et d'une chanson d'amour. La mer a bercé mon cœur pour la vie. La mer.
Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed today's message of the day, and you have a beautiful day and sweet dreams.